So in this video, I'll cover the sign in. Okay. In the sign in, we have the email and password. Already I sign up into the account in the previous video. Now I'm going to sign in the user. Okay, let's go to the documentation. Where is our documentation? Authentication. Yeah. This done, right? Right. And now this is now sign in the user with email and password. You got it right? So same thing, I'll copy the code here. Sign in instance, sign in with email and password. What is the previous method? Create a user with email and password. Now sign in with email and password. Clear? Huh? So go to the repository implementation. Here I'm going to implement the response. Okay, here. What is the Firebase response model? Future Firebase response model. Here, I'll call the API. Before call the API, I need to implement the sign-in API, right? So service, Firebase service, Firebase services. Here again, I'll create a new method. Okay. What is the method name is? Future. Okay. Login. Clear? Huh? Okay. In the return, we have to return something like this. So here now check this. We call this method from the repository. We pass the data. In the data is contained email and password. Okay. So now sign in with email we called here. Okay. The response is coming back. Success is true. Successfully log in the user and response is back to the repository. If it's a weak password or email already in use, the account is already existing. This is wrong information. Okay. So let's copy this information. So it will get like this, right? User not found, right? This is a Firebase exceptions. These are the exception, right? User not found. Maybe that email is not found also. We'll get a response back to user not found. Okay. Now we'll send a response back. Firebase response model. The success is false and data also false, right? And user not found for that email. And if it's a wrong password also, we need to send back to the success false wrong password provide for the user. Now it's clear. And somewhere some issue is there. If it's else block, some message. What is the error message? We respond that the catch response is sent back to the repository. Now it's clear. We implement the login method here, and we need to call this method in the where we need to call login repository, right? So here create a final Firebase services fix, and here call the method return await. So we need to write async. Clear? Huh? Login method we pass the payload. Okay. So here where you need to call this method? Go to the login view model, right? Login view model. We call the API, right? But response should be response model. We send back to the return. So let's comment the save user data. Okay. Okay. Comment. Okay. Here also we'll save the user ID. Firebase ID. Here also we'll save the user ID. Based on the user ID, we'll perform the other operation later. Okay. So let's comment that method response model is success message data null. Clear? Huh? So this call the where we call this API login screen, right? In the login screen we call the API. Okay. That model is Firebase response model. From the model check the is success or not. If the success is true, sorry, success is true, we'll navigate to the home screen, or else we show the error message. Okay, the error message may be uh, what is the error message throwing from the API. That message we displayed here, right? So that message is response. Okay, 1 second. This is a response. Okay, response dot message. Clear? It's showing error invalid constant. Okay, clear? Now it's clear. So we written the condition, we written the logic for the sign in. We are using the same design, and from there we'll get a information from the input. That information we are passing to the view model. The view model is passing to the repository. The repository connected to Firebase services. There we'll return the condition for the sign in. Hope clear everyone. Okay. Now run the project again. Can I try with the invalid username password? Test at gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's say okay. Let's try again. What is the error? Okay, it's coming differently. Supplied authentic credential is incorrect. Okay, but is not a valid kind of message, right? Let's find out through the debugging. Okay, let's find out the debugging. Or else, can I try with the user? Can I try with already I log into the this information, right? So instead of this information, I can add test credentials in the Firebase. Okay, let's add a user here. For example, test at gmail.com. Let's say, okay, this is test credential. Password is 1 2 3 4 5 6. I add the user here. Manually add the user in the authentication section. Clear? User is added, right? So let's try with the same user and password in the simulator. Now try. Now check. Done, right? Successfully login, right? So why? Because of the test at gmail.com. Previously, I didn't register that. Okay. If I register, I can register from the app. That is only one option. But if you want to add a test user, we can add a manually in the Firebase. From the in that email, we can access the applications also. Hope is clear. So till now we completed the sign in. Okay, we completed the sign in. But only thing is we need to handle the proper error message that we'll discuss. Okay.